The times we live in are so uncertain. And ladies, as women, it is time for us to be smart about money, about our money. And that includes having knowledge and gaining knowledge about, budgeting, investing even, and managing our whole financial situation. Getting out of debt is very important. And so today we're going to talk about some of those things because it's on the minds of a lot of folks. And so there's some tips that we can do to keep ourselves ahead of the game so that we don't feel so burdened when things start to really shift. Because right now, we see what the financial situation is in the world. Some people want to be blind to it, but it's just a reality. But it doesn't mean we have to suffer. So these are some tips that I want to share with you today. Women still earn less than men. Did you know that women tend to carry more credit card debt? And that can be costly and can affect our financial health. Financial worries and anxieties affect us as women much more than it does men. Is that something that you even thought about, or did you know that? We need to be armed with knowledge and tools to take control of our finances. Make smart choices about budgeting, investing, and saving money. Now, this is important. We need to do our best to have as little debt as possible. That means loans, credit card debts. Pay those credit cards down each month, or pay them off, I should say, each month if you can. And if you can't pay them off, pay more than the minimum due, because if you pay the minimum due, it will take you forever to pay off even $1,000. That interest will continue to add up. So you want to make sure that you do that, because that will free up your money and you won't be so strapped and you won't be so filled with anxiety about money because you're making progress. One thing that affects us all, and I'm guilty of this as well, but I have really put it to a screeching halt, and that is impulse buying. We need to shop our closets more. I look around and I have so many clothes, and so I have been trying to shop my closet, wear things that I have not worn in a long time. Things that have tags on them still. That's impulse buying. And a lot of that is influenced by social media. The influencers, they have all the new items and things. We don't know the complete background of that. Everything is not as it seems. But we need to not do that, because that puts you in more debt. It locks your money up. So then you are cash poor. You want to be able to have more money, no matter how wealthy you are or financially less fortunate. Now, as far as saving, people say everybody is on a different financial journey. So you can't say, well, you should be able to put away $100 each paycheck, or 20% of your paycheck, or whatever. I'm just throwing numbers out there or whatever. But put something aside. Even if you're married, and everybody's marriage is different and your financial handlings are different. So don't look at anything that I say as gospel, okay? As far as what you should do. But just my opinion, you should have like a little tuck away money for yourself. If you want to buy something, save, put $20 each paycheck. You'd be surprised how that will add up. $20, because it's yours. Our husbands take wonderful care of us. Some of us, we have our own careers. And when you're married, you don't necessarily be like, well, that's mine and that's yours. No, you're a unit. But I do believe in having my own. Like I said, everybody's different. Now, something that I feel strongly about, especially women growing up, young girls, young women today, even some of us older ones, Boyfriends are not your husband. They should not have access or say what you do with your money. Don't hand your money over to some guy because you like him or you're dating him and he's in a bind, and I just don't want to see him go through that, so I'm just going to let him hold this $100. Well, most likely you're not getting that back, and you're not going to ask for it back either. I've seen it 1,000 times. You don't put your boyfriend on your bank account. You do not put your boyfriend on your house. Okay? Because you guys aren't married. So you really technically don't have access to each other's finances. Now, if he wants to give you a gift or vice versa, you give a gift, that's different, But honestly, even with that, just be really careful, because sometimes men and women use each other, okay? So none of that joint account stuff with a boyfriend, because when things go to the left, you're going to end up in the courtroom and he's going to take half your money. I've seen it 1,000 times. It's never happened to me, but it still hurts me when I see it, because I'm like, she was trying to buy him in hopes that he will stay if she put his name on the house, or if she kept giving him money. He'll stay with me because I'm the one that can, help him out financially. No other girls can do it. We're not doing that. That's not feminine. Because feminine women, truly feminine and elegant women, we're smarter than that. To just be trying to buy somebody. You're the prize, so he should be showering you with gifts. So, an able-bodied man needs to be going to work. I don't believe in men and women just living together. You live with your husband. Okay? That's my moral belief and stance on things. But, you don't just give a man a money and he's sitting at home because you make more money than him. Able-bodied men should be going to work. That's the natural law of things. Now, if you're married and your husband has an accident or some disability and he cannot work, and you're in a position to take care of your family, like his disability doesn't quite cover everything, that's different. That is your husband. And when you got married, you said, for better or for worse, you said you're one. So that's how we deal with that. But, that boyfriend, our joint accounts and stuff, he's not your husband, and things will most likely, most of the time, it just doesn't work out. And then you are stuck financially strapped and broken because you were being kind to somebody that didn't deserve it. I get so saddened by seeing that. I see it with women in their 20s and 30s taking care of grown men. That's my man, and and I know inside they're like thinking that he's cheating on them, but I'm gonna be the one who saves him, and he's gonna choose me. He's gonna pick me. No, he's not. He's picking your money for now. So don't leave yourself financially broken in that way either. We need to be smart with the money. We want to have budgets. There is nothing wrong with having budgets. Wealthy people have a budget. Okay? Sometimes they live a little bit below their means. That's why they have money. Now, I'm not talking about the flashy ones that, that just blow all their money and take care of all the entourage and hangers on and everything like that. I've seen that too. But you don't have to spend every dime that you have just because you have money. Because when times get really tough, you're going to be the one standing with money in your pocket while everyone else is crying because they have so much debt. or someone has taken off and stolen their money. So I just want you ladies to be smart about it. Just take some of these ideas. I'm reminding myself by talking about it, you know, and I just really hope this helps at least one person, because I have been thinking about it. I was watching the news, and just, you know, with all the inflation and things like that, people are shopping differently, and you know, we're trying to do better with that, and all walks of life, just, you know, handle our money better, especially as women, because we carry a lot of emotional burden when money is not correct in our household or in our lives. So, you know, ladies, thank you for stopping by. And just, if you're still with me, I really appreciate that as well, because that would mean that something that I'm saying is helping you, because this information was shared with me, and a lot of it helped me turn around and not have debt. You know, if I don't have the cash, to buy something, I don't really buy it anymore. Even if I put it on a card, say I put something on a Saks card, I pay that Saks card off in like 2 weeks before the bill even comes. I just want to get my points or whatever. But the credit card, it is a racket. You should probably have one card for renting cars or an emergency. It's good to have a credit card for that. But don't fall for the, you can get 20% off today. Would you like to register? Sure. That sounds really good. But then that 20% off, you put that back on that card 10 times with all the interest and everything. So, you know, just think about some of the points that I brought out today, and I really hope they help you. And as usual, I love to tell you, you have a good day, okay? You guys have a good evening wherever you are, and just be good to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.